What time did you leave yesterday?
I left at 9 o'clock.
So you're early today, right?
No, I've left at 8 o'clock every morning this month. But yesterday was different. Yesterday was a holiday, so I left the house late.
Oh, I see. Do you swim here often?
Yes, I do. I've already swum here 3 times this week.
Really? That's a lot. I swam here yesterday, but I didn't see you.
That's right. I didn't swim yesterday. I was shopping.
You can set your boxes and bags on the ground.
What?
You might drop your boxes and bags. You should set them on the ground.
Oh, okay. I've set them on the ground. Now what?
Now you can get your keys out.
That's right. I set them on the ground, and then I got my keys out. Good thinking.
What are you doing?
I'm riding my bike.
But it's late. It's hot now. It's already 11 o'clock.
That's okay. I like the heat.
When did you begin riding this morning?
I began riding at 10:30.
Really? Not until 10:30? Have you always begun to ride so late?
Yes, I always have. I like hot weather.
Well, enjoy your ride.
Thanks. Bye.
Catch the ball.
I caught it.
You caught it well.
Thanks. I have practice. I've caught a lot of balls recently because I've played baseball.
Hey, come on, hurry up. Don't take all day.
I'm working as fast as I can.
Well, if you don't finish by 5 o'clock, you'll have to work overtime tonight. And I won't pay you because you should finish by 5.
What? This is too much work. Nobody could finish this work by 5.
That's your problem. I want it done.
You always give me and the other employees too much work, and you never pay us overtime or benefits. And we don't make much money here anyway. They all want to quit.
Don't make my heart bleed. Get back to work.
I'm sorry, I quit. I'm going to find another job.
You won't find one.
Yes, I will. I've quit jobs before and found better ones. One time, I quit a job paying $5 an hour and found one paying $5.75 an hour with a nicer boss. So I know I can do it.
Well, I can't stop you. If you want to quit, do it. Clear out, now! Where are the insurance papers?
I laid them on the table.
Can you give them to me?
Okay. I don't see them, but I usually lay papers only on this table.
Have you ever laid papers in another place?
Well, yes. I've laid papers on the table in the other room sometimes.
Ah, check that table.
Ah, I found the insurance papers.
Why are you putting money under your mattress?
I'm hiding the money. I don't want burglars to find it.
You shouldn't hide it there. Many people have hidden money under their mattresses, but burglars often find it. How much have you hidden there?
Oh, I hid $200 last month, and today I've hidden $150. So in all, I've hidden $350.
Wow, that's a lot of money. You shouldn't have it there.
Where should I hide it?
Don't hide it. Put it in a bank.
A bank? I don't know.
It will be safe there.
Okay, I will.
What's wrong?
This milk stinks.
Really? Why? Is it too old?
I don't know. Oh, I remember. I forgot to put it in the refrigerator last night. When I've done that before, the milk has always stunk.
I know what you mean. I left some milk out last week, and it stank too.
There, I finished screwing that screw.
Good. Now withdraw the nails from the next corner and screw the screws in. Wait, withdraw both the nails.
I've withdrawn both the nails.
No, you haven't. Look, you withdrew one nail, but not the other.
Ah, you're right. The word undertake means the same as do. I can say, I do a job, or I undertake a job.
What are you teaching?
I'm teaching English.
How many years have you taught English?
Oh, I've taught English for 8 years.
Hey, my friend was in your class for 2 months last year. You taught her English in the morning.
Was she in the beginning group or the advanced group?
I'm not sure, but her English is pretty good now, so maybe you taught her in the advanced group.
What are these?
I have some shorts here which somebody gave me. I don't need them. Would you like some?
Well, yes. That's kind of you. I need another pair. Are they my size?
I don't know. Take some, go in there and put them on.
Oh, help. These don't fit. They're too tight.
Okay, try another pair.
They don't fit. They're too big.
Well, all the others are the same.
These shorts just haven't fit. They're too big or too small, too tight or too loose.
You're right. I'm sorry.
But when I was at the store, I found a pair that fit. I think I'll buy them.
Good idea. Are you going to freeze that food?
Yes, I am.
Why?
I don't want to eat the pie right now, and I already have too much meat in my refrigerator to eat this.
Don't you think you might have too much in your freezer? What have you frozen?
I frozen steak, fish, chicken, and some corn. Last week I froze some strawberries too. Oh no! My foot! Ouch! My nose! Oh! Ow!
What are you doing?
I'm cutting wood. I want to make a table.
You're fast. Have you cut wood much before?
Yes, I've cut lots of wood. I like carpentry. It's good exercise. Ah, but it's made me hungry. I have an apple. I just cut this apple in half. Would you like some?
Sure. Thanks. What are they doing?
They're fighting.
That's terrible. Are you going to stop them?
No, they're brothers, and they're having fun. Don't worry, they won't hurt each other
How long have they been fighting?
for only 5 minutes.
Have they often fought?
Oh, yes. They never get angry when they fight. They fought last week for 15 minutes and never got angry.
Well, if they're really just playing, then I guess it's okay.
Welcome, everyone. As you can see, someone has infiltrated my my moderators team. Welcome the newest member that I have no choice to welcome, Mick Latoris. Welcome, Mick Latoris. I don't know how many of y'all were were a lot of you guys in Queen Bee's chat. Now I'm almost never in Queen Bee's live, but I found it interesting, and I had to put in my 2 cents there for a second. But there was one point, man. Who was it? It was Savage, man. Savage got savage. She was on there. She talked about lick Mick Latoris. Lick Mick Latoris. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, she was heated, dude. I was like, whoa. A lot of people were like, whoa. Some dude on panel got all sensitive and upset. I don't blame him. You know, not going to fault anybody for having a certain threshold for conflict. Can get to you, man. It can get to you. I get it. I get it. Well, welcome, guys. It is Saturday night. I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. Now, y'all calm down. I'm just poking a little fun. Savage is I personally like Savage. I got no beef with Savage whatsoever, man. She's funny, man. She's cool. She had a weak moment. We've all been there. Calm down, y'all, with your judgments, you know. Now something else may have taken place that I wasn't there for, but I don't know. That's another story. But just want to be clear, I don't condone that. So dude, weren't you on your own fucking live? What did they fucking get sick of you and send you over here? This fucking guy. So yeah, it was really funny. Like he had like his twin brother on the screen. Like I went over there for a second and then I got distracted by something else and I had to leave. But I was over there in the Geek Rooms live and there was like a dude that looked just like him except with a really, really fancy looking beard. Like it was like it was really well groomed, man. I mean, I know because that's how I knew it wasn't Billy. Because at first I thought it was Billy, and I was like, "That's not Billy." That dude's beard doesn't look like 1970s hooker snatch. That's can't be Billy. So anyway, last night was interesting. I was on Deets on the Streets panel. I really like her channel. She seems to be very fact driven. That's super cool to me. And she's really, really logical and very rational. And she's and it was a very, I always say that a panel and chat is always a reflection of the creator of that channel. And the conversation that I had on Deet's panel, even with people that I probably normally wouldn't agree with, and I didn't necessarily agree with a couple people on there last night, but I did have a very pleasant conversation with the people up there. So big shout out to Deets on the Streets for letting me up there and conducting an extremely productive live with a really really insightful conversation that I truly enjoyed. Because there were different opinions for sure, but they were all expressed very respectfully, and it was pleasant to be part of that. And then Queen went live, and then Mallory showed up, and then Savage showed up, and Savage left, showed up again, and then left again. It was just really it was really heated, man. There was a lot of people on the panel. That always gives me anxiety. I didn't realize it until I did it after a while, but open panels usually like give me anxiety. Deets was really cool because the reasons why they give me anxiety did not take place on her panel. And I mean, that's just the risk you take when you have an open panel. So and I'm not taking any shots at Queen. We have our differences and everything, but I'm not taking any jabs at her. I'm just saying that it's not, you know, so many people on panel and yelling at each other, and then I feel like yelling, and then I get anxiety, and then I feel stupid for even lowering myself and engaging in something so fucking petty and allowing myself to behave in such a way. And then I just got to a point and I was just like, I can't do these big panels anymore. So, but Queen's panel was super chaotic, and there was a lot of yelling, and there were some strong feelings. And I understand the strong feelings to a certain degree. I understand the strong feelings to a certain degree. I can't really relate to them so much. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I guess, I mean, like I said, I can't judge anybody for handling things the way that they handle them necessarily, except for if what took place when I wasn't listening took place that I've heard. But I, like I said, if that did happen, and I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't know if it happened for sure. But if it did happen, then, yeah, I don't agree with that. But and I honestly, I had absolutely no plan for tonight. Like I got up, I spent hours at the gym and then came home and made food and devoured my food and then passed right out. And then I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I'm bored. What am I gonna do? I might as well go live. I don't have nothing to go live about. Oh, fuck it. I mean, who says you need to go live? You need to have anything to really go live about. Sometimes I just want to kick it with you guys. So that's what I decided to do. And so we'll just kind of explore things a little bit. And I and I had one moment last night because I just couldn't resist. It was just really interesting. And I don't know if I would even go. I probably would, but I'm pretty sure Queen took it down. And if she, yeah, and what I heard as to the reason why she took it down, then I totally understand for sure. I mean, and whatever, like every creator, if they want to take down a fucking stream or leave it up, that's up to them. Who gives a shit? That's not, you know what I mean? That's their choice to do what they want with their streams. But yeah, you're right, Liza Rose. It's funny, like I do like to follow it. For sure. Oh, Nicole, no. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not doing is opening panel. I may do that one day. Or if I could ever get this like taking phone calls thing, then I'll do that at some point, but I'm not opening my panel. Like I can't. I don't have the, I don't know like how someone can sit there in that chaos for so long. Kudos to them who can. But I got to a point where I saw an opportunity because sometimes that open panel is a blessing. And then I'm seeing somebody that I talk about on that panel. And so I took a shot and jumped on there and I wanted to address Mallory. Because I mean, how am I going to be up here and talk about her and review her? And then I have an opportunity to address her directly and I don't take it. And I went ahead and jumped on there and I simply asked. It went exactly how I expected it to go. I actually kind of planned for it. And I went up there and I simply asked, why did you specifically go to Savannah, Georgia? And she sat there silent, didn't have any answer. And then somebody else on the panel, now mind you, there was like 9 people up there. And at no point did she answer. And then someone was like, content. And then Queen elaborated, I should say, and said, yeah, she was up here before, and then said that, yeah, she admitted she was doing it for content, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't like confirm that. I'm pretty sure that she probably in some way, shape, or form regretted having that answer, which I find really fascinating because there's people who don't tell the truth, and then there's people who tell the truth because they're just put in a position to where they have to, and then there's people who tell the truth because they're put in a position because they have to, because they had to, and then somehow try to walk it back. And she almost attempted to do that, because my next question was, okay, what was the victim's name in the case that you were there? Because eventually she said, well, we were there covering a case. That was her answer to me. Even after someone tried to throw her a lifeline and was like, you already said you did it for content. You know, like she already said it. She did it for content, Glare. It's cool. And everybody's treating me being up there with kid gloves because I don't have a good history of being on Queen Bee's panel. And I don't have a good history on being on panel with a lot of the same people that were on that panel, or at least some of the same people that were on that panel. So I was being careful too, because I did not go there to start trouble. I went there to simply prove a point. I had an opportunity, I saw an opportunity, and I wanted to prove my point. And that point was simple. I asked, she said, even after they threw her a lifeline, and she could have been like, yeah, it was content, whatever, we all do this shit for content. She could have even dressed it up to try to excuse it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she wouldn't have gotten away with that with me, but she could have absolutely done that. At least she would have been speaking the truth. And to be honest, to some degree, there's the one thing above all of those other idiots that she was lumped up with. I at least had the respect for her that she would be honest from time to time, because she'd be like, listen, people, listen, holy shit, you people who think that we don't do this shit for money, holy shit. And she would do this shit for minutes at a time. And I'd be like, okay, at least she's fucking honest, you know? But here she is, and she's realizing that a bunch of people like seem to have given her some kind of pass, and then she's in the environment where she feels like she got this pass in the community, and then she realizes it's not quite there yet, because people are still like, wait a minute, okay, it's shitty that you got trans bashed, sure, but that doesn't erase the other shit you did. You know what I mean? Like, we're not forgetting that, you know? And I agree. It's not okay to trans bash. It's not okay to do any type of hate in regards to people who are just simply different than you in ways that they just are. You do not get to do that. And considering what she's probably already dealt with, being a trans woman, it's really low hanging fruit. I mean, it's worse, if not on the same level, definitely worse than doxing, depending on how doxing would affect you. But it's bad, you know, it's real bad, because you could genuinely hurt someone. You could genuinely hurt someone by engaging in behavior that is something that they've had to struggle with their whole life, bashing something that they've had to struggle with their whole life, something that you wouldn't know anything about, something that you couldn't even begin to relate to unless you are a trans person. But I'm of the opinion that as far as the gripes that I've had with her, that's completely irrelevant. I don't care about her being trans. It's not anything to me as far as that goes. But of course, I do not condone anyone going there. It's like I said, it's at least, to say the very least, as low as doxing. You know, to go there when there's plenty, in my opinion, of her character that is easy to attack. You know, that's not something to attack someone for. It's not a character flaw. So you don't attack someone for being trans or being a different race or anything of that nature. it's ridiculous. It just shows that you have ignorance and that you don't have the wit, or the depth to actually come up with anything that is that could actually make that person think. Now, going back to all, like I said, all I wanted to know was, because I felt like, as Dietz put it when she was live and we were on panel, it was like, she was saying, I go on vacation with my husband and then I come back and I'm in the twilight zone. Like, why all of a sudden is this person being embraced? And yes, there's definitely a major element of the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation here. And like I said on Dietz, and I told somebody in private at one point, it's like, this situation being what it is like a black light and it allows me to shine it on my audience who are like sheets in a hotel room. In that sense, it's just a very loose analogy. I get to see who's in this for the evolution of true crime, in the sense that victims are no longer being dragged and being doxxed and being harassed, where we can all, like adults, observe and speculate responsibly on these cases, and as the hashtag says, engage with empathy, when we think about how our speculation and how public it is at times, how it can affect these victims. And I like to know the difference between people who are of that mindset and the people who are in this for the very drama that causes that issue in the first place. So, I just wanted to go up there and prove the point. Because I even asked her after she said, because I'm telling you, everybody on the panel gave Mallory an out and said, she said yesterday she did it for content. Then she goes, well, we were up there to cover a case. And I was like, really? In my head, I was like, you're going to do this? Okay. I was hoping you would. And I was like, okay, what was the name of the victim? And then she says, Quentin. And I'm like, Quentin who? That's Simon. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm thinking, like, there's not a time buzzer here. I just want to know what you know. How much do you know about the case that you are covering in person, on location? You know what I mean? With these other sleuths. And how much did they brief you? I mean, you had a team of people out there, right? You were part of a team of people out there. And yet nobody briefed you. I mean, because even I don't really understand it, but let's say for the sake of argument that you just went out there and were like, I'm just here and I'm here to support. What can I do? Can someone brief me on the details of the case? But you didn't do that, and nobody did that, probably because most people didn't really know the details of the case. We know Betty didn't. We definitely know MGL didn't. And you just went out there causing a ruckus, making noise, and harassing people. Literally all you were doing out there was harassing people. And you proved 2 points in those very brief moments that I was on panel and asked you those questions, Mallory. You proved 2 very key points. One, that you showed everybody what your intentions are just by simply not knowing. Just by simply being part of 4 people, filming yourself out there on location, looking like you had no idea what the fuck you were talking about, and then you just confirmed it. And then the second point being that you don't care about any of these cases, because if you cared at all about any of the cases that you even talk about, for damn sure somebody who traveled to the location where this case is in the heat of it, you would know at least the most simple details of the case. I asked you how old Quentin Simon was, and then you gave up. Right there, you threw up your hand. You were like, oh, don't do that to me. Holy shit. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. And then I'm sitting there like, okay. And that right there, I was all I needed. And I said, that's why people call you a tragedy pimp. And I said, thank you to Queen Bee. It was very kind of her to let me on her panel, considering our history. So I'm very grateful to her for that. But that was it. Because for me, honestly, it was selfish because I had this conversation, and I see B Tim in my chat. What's up, buddy? I had this conversation, and we were having on Deets in the Streets panel, we were having a very, very insightful exchange, to the point to where it was so respectful and insightful. I wanted to ask myself the same questions. So I also saw an opportunity to confront Mallory for my own peace of mind. So maybe I'm not being judgmental, but I know in my heart and in my head, I am absolutely right about this person. Because some people were like, well, I choose to give her the benefit of the doubt. She apologized, and let's see what happens moving forward. Understandable. Get that. And in theory, it's a very, very beautiful philosophy. It's a very, very beautiful way to go about it. But to me, it just wasn't realistic. That was my argument. To me, it just simply wasn't realistic. And it was based on the fact that I had my mind made up about Mallory's character. My opinion has already been set. And then I thought, because I had such a kind conversation, such a respectful conversation, am I being harsh? Am I being too, I've been known to be that way, And these people don't even know me. And they're putting me in a position to question whether or not I'm being too harsh. So therefore, I took advantage, and she proved me right. She absolutely proved me right. This is a person who's just trying to find her way now in any part of the community that will have her. I mean, it's just that simple. That's what Savage got so upset about last night. She was so upset because she didn't understand why everybody seemed to forget everything that she put these families through and the things that she said about these victims. And if you watch Deets on the Streets' most recent video, she kind of creates her own little version of this audition reality show. Maybe I'll go over it actually, just as something to do here. But excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. I'm still getting over that cold. But it just, I could see, I think she was frustrated for the same reasons that me and Deets were confused, but I can't say that I've gotten to a point to where I'm frustrated, where I'm like, oh no, what's happening? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just more information. That's how I see it. It's just more information. Is it fascinating that these things happen on a mass level? Sure. Because it did happen. Let's just face it. Because she was trans bashed by MGL, she got a lot more sympathy. And people were ready to just, oh my God. And that was the focus. And I understand that, because trans bashing is super fucked up. And that really, really makes a lot of people mad. But for some people, it was just like, well, but okay. I mean, all right, I get it. But what are we? I don't understand. And then you find yourself in kind of a weird position to where you don't really even know how to say it out loud. There were a couple times yesterday on Deets' panel that we were both kind of like, I don't know. it's a touchy thing, and I just, it's just really funny to me, like, because I have a theory. Okay, my theory is simple, and again, it's based on being a very cynical person. I get that. I'm optimistic in a lot of ways, but I'm also very cynical in a lot of ways. And I'm very cynical when it comes to people and their behavior. If their behavior shows me something very, very consistent, then I'm just going to look at them that way until something happens to where I have to look at their behavior in a very different way, you know? Dude, okay, see, here's the thing. See, Lady Justice was on panel with us yesterday, and and I like real Lady Justice. She's always been very, very kind in my chat, and always been, I think we disagree on a lot of things. But she's always been very very kind and very insightful in my chat, and I appreciate that. But let me go back to that. Hold on. I was gonna read it. I think by listening, those that have longer history are very entrenched and think giving grace means giving a pass because a stand was made on trans hate speech. Time will tell. But the thing is the stand on hate speech has nothing to do. I mean, because everybody, here's the thing, do I think it's bad that happened? Of course. But I wouldn't feel bad if someone were to bash her about her appearance. You know what I mean? Because I'm the kind of person, and people, this, who have followed me for a long time. I'm the kind of person that is just like, well, when you do shitty things, things are going to happen. Maybe I wouldn't engage in that behavior, but I'm not going to feel bad for you when it happens to you because you're a fucking fucked up person who does fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think there are some people who just looked at her being called out for being trans by a very ignorant person it's not the first time they've done it. And I'll get to that point in a second. To me, it was kind of, I could see it being very close to the same thing as just something else that they can't help about themselves and picking at that. Is it low hanging fruit? Absolutely. Horrible. Not okay. But am I going to feel bad for a shitty person simply because it's a very sensitive issue at the moment? Is that going to influence how I feel empathetically towards them for being a victim of trans bashing in the manner in which it happened? Now, as I understand it, her dead name was shared, and that is fucked up because that just boils down. That's not even a trans issue to me. To me, that's an issue of somebody simply does not want to be identified in that way specifically any longer. And it is your moral responsibility to respect that, period. I don't care what the reasons are, whether they're in fucking witness protection or they're trans. I don't care. It's you're an asshole if you don't respect that. That is somebody that's why it's referred as to a dead name. It's because they don't consider themselves that person anymore. Whether they are to you doesn't matter. And funny thing is, it's even shittier to have done that the way that it was done because nobody knew Mallory prior when she had this dead name. So that's even less of a right for them to even bring it up because the only Mallory is the Mallory that you see now. That is it. And that is the only Mallory that you have a right to address. That's it. But to me, I just saw, I mean, I saw an issue. I guess I just wasn't caught up with how infuriating of an issue it was. It just wasn't as infuriating to me at the time, I guess because she's who she is and has done what she's done. But kudos to the heels in the air and everybody who shared the tweet and did whatever happened to MGL's channel. Now, I think personally it's a game of whack-a-mole, but it definitely sends a message. At the very least, it's a very important statement at the very least that it's not going to be tolerated in the community. So good on Heels in the Air and everybody who retweeted it, for sure. I didn't see the tweet, so I didn't have an opportunity to retweet it. I don't think I did anyway. But yeah, if trans bashing, let me see that. True Crime Dime. It's low-hanging fruit. If trans bashing is your argument, that just tells me you're incompetent and can't think through a valid argument. Exactly. And that's just how I see it. It didn't anger me the way that it angered a lot of other people. And I'm not criticizing the other people for being as angered about it. So for some of us, it was just like the people that it seemed to anger, it came off as though everyone was forgetting about a deeper issue that goes deeper than being trans or not being trans. It's being the type of person, human being that would make jokes about a missing little girl and show up to Savannah not knowing shit about anything of the case, which means that they couldn't possibly have any respect for the victims because they don't even know really who the victims are or anything about the victims. They don't care anything about them. So it's clearly about just being out there and just trying to create controversy and make a name for yourself. And I can't respect that. And there's a nature in a person that does that, you know, especially somebody who isn't nearly sincerely apologetic, when there clearly isn't anyone. They're not showing anything, you know. They're just trying to latch on. She latched on to MGL and then turned on MGL because drama. She's a drama channel and MGL is a drama channel, right? People call MGL sometimes the queen of the drama community. I've heard that before. Okay. Now, I don't think that she's majestic in the slightest bit to be queen of anything, but she's been known to be the queen of the drama community. I've heard that before. But what I find humorous about this is people are like, oh my God, MGL, I can't fucking believe she went that far. And this is where things are probably going to get a little controversial. But she says, people are like, MGL, man, she went too goddamn far. But I mean, yeah, the trans bashing is not new, though. You know what I mean? Why did it take for people to get fed up in the true crime community, so-called, quote unquote? But why did it take? And I'm not saying, I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying this should have been done or not should have been done. I'm asking a question. We're just talking here. For everyone to come together in such rage over Molly Golightly saying transphobic remarks after everything that she's done, right? That's the thing that made everybody in the true crime community really angry to try to get her shut down. That was the act. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't showing up to the Wells job and getting them fired. Nobody rallied for that. You know what I mean? Or maybe they did and I just didn't see it. You know, but I'm just like, why is in the true crime community why is this the last straw? You know? I mean, I understand trans people and it's not okay to attack them for being trans, but somehow that's worse. And I'm not saying one is worse than the other. I'm saying it seems like it's coming off like it's worse to attack a trans person for being trans than it is to attack a parent of a missing child. You know what I mean? Why was this the last straw? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not pointing my finger at anybody in particular, nobody in particular. I'm talking about what it took for a group of people to come together and that's it, you know, on a mass level. Why is that what it took? You know what I mean? So I'm not calling out just one person, you know? And again, like MGL has done so much. She's done so much to get to this point, you know? And I'm not going to try to boot her off, but you know, she also has just as much support as she has people who don't like her. And she's just going, as long as there's a demand for her, she's going to pop up. That's why I put up that community post. Like, y'all are fucking celebrating early, you know, like she's showing up on other people's panels. You know, she's not going to disappear. You know what I mean? Like you're out here singing Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, and she's not, you know? And I agree with, we were all in agreement. I think she sucks. You know what I mean? But, you know, realistically, I just don't see her just, this is what beats her. You know what I mean? Like, is it a victory? Yeah, but is it like a victory? Like, boom, it's over. Molly's done. No, like, that's just naive. That is just naive. You cannot contain a need for attention like hers. It can't be done. You can't contain it. There's just no way. Let me go over Deet's video. Let's just have something to laugh at here. All right, so this is Deets on the Streets. She did that excellent JLR video as well.
Hey y'all. I'm sure by now everyone has seen the secret trailer that Mallory from House of Williams put out on her channel. It was supposed to be this documentary style premiere that they were trying to get a reality show or some type of show off of. So of course I put my own spin to it. I'd like to introduce you to the Real Housewives of True Crime.
My name is Marissa Zadinsky. I'm known as Molly Golightly, YouTuber.
Come on. Don't tell the world that you're so happy because of your job. Your job essentially ruined your entire family and took your fucking life.
So my name.
Okay. On that note, I have to say real quick, yo, Frankie Ruchek Jr. right now is killing it, dude. Yeah, this armchair detective dude is so fucked. I'm pretty sure that's who he's suing right now. In England, like Frankie Ruchek took it to his house. And I love it. I fucking love it. And like the way he's making it sound to me, like in private, is he's just getting started. I love it. And I really hope that this inspires other families to do this too. And I absolutely respect any family who just wants to be left alone. I get that. But how great would it be if families just started fighting back, you know? And the Rucheks are doing that. And I absolutely respect them. And I absolutely back them 100%.
My name is Andra, and my YouTube channel is Bullhorn Betty.
So why are we here now over a Confederate monument? And by the way, if I need to raise money to erect that monument myself, trust me, I will do it.
I'm Mallory Williams. I have a YouTube channel, The House of Williams.
Goodness, profiting off of our summer. Oh God, these people.
Okay. I was actually watching some of this video earlier. Now it's a very interesting thing. I'll show you guys in a little bit.
Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, people? Summer Wells, the gift that keeps on giving on YouTube. Listen, monetizer.
True crime YouTuber, because I felt very passionate about the Me Too movement and how a lot of men were falsely being accused, and that kind
of. Okay, right there. I mean, she said that shit on purpose. That's what's crazy to me. I can't get over this little audition thing, by the way. It's just too fucking funny to me because they were dead serious and this is what they were trying to do. Sherry, stop it. So yeah, I'm not seeing I find this really funny that she actually said this shit for real, that why she got into true crime was the Me Too movement. Like, what true crime case has anybody ever talked about in the true crime community? Because the true crime community didn't cover the Johnny Depp case, people. Just so you know, that didn't happen. That's a whole nother community. That's their own community. The Johnny Depp, Amber Heard community. That's their own community. And you have the Johnny Depp community and you have the Amber Heard community. Totally different than true crime. So why is she talking about the Me Too movement being the reason why she's following true crime? That makes no sense at all. Not one case about a child being lost, being a mother, you know, I just can't imagine my child being, she has no sense of empathy at all whatsoever. And she's dead serious here. She says that the reason why she got into true crime was the Me Too movement and men being falsely accused. Like, what? So also in the same breath, she says that she doesn't give a fuck about women who have actually, for the first time in history, came together and fed off each other's bravery to do what has never been done before, which was speak out against sexual harassment in the workplace, in places that it was just accepted and part of it that sexual harassment was going to take place. And it was just part of your career that you had to deal with it. If you wanted to succeed, you had to do things. And this has never been okay, but for some reason it was accepted in Hollywood. And the Me Too movement was actually an amazing what's the word I'm looking, milestone in history for women. Like, it's killing me that what she got out of the Me Too movement is that it was some evil thing and men were being falsely accused. Did it happen? Sure. But I don't think it even remotely outweighs the good that the Me Too movement actually served. And for her as a woman to not even acknowledge that is hilarious to me. And she's dead serious.
I kind of blossomed. I got bigger with the Chris Watts case. I watch a lot of Nancy Grace and I watch a lot of true crime TV. And then I took my obsession with Nancy Grace out into the field and I ended up outside.
Out into the field.
Of Brian Laundrie's house. And that's how I met Bullhorn Betty.
Cheating on her husband. Yo, I love Betty. I love Betty. I mean,
dude, like even Bullhorn Betty thinks she's acting like an asshole.
Pushy. What? You're living your best life, are you now? And now you're gonna come over here, wiggle us all around. Yeah. Now that your husband's, I am not shocked that they're back together.
Oh, we knew that. Come on, we called it. We knew as soon as he was out, she's going to run back. She ran away. God knows what she was doing the year that, but we know she didn't keep her legs closed. She's never been able to keep her legs closed.
She's disgusting.
Her husband's gone 4 months and she's bopping 3 different guys.
Wow.
One that she just picked up from a gas station.
Wow.
Now you're going to ask me
Nice.
because we went out there and found that out.
Wow.
Nice.
Heels on the Ground represents voices for people that otherwise would not have a voice, and most of them are small children.
I mean, now is that somebody else speaking for her, or is that fucking her up there straight up fucking lying? You know what I mean? Like, I and at no point has she, since this MGL and her fallout, has she actually taken any real responsibility for it? Because she's walked it back. She's, I mean,
so many children are lacking the voice, just in general. But when they become missing, right?
You didn't even know what the kid's name was in the town that you're in right now. You barely knew his name, and you couldn't even say how old he was. And his age is one of the most tragic aspects of the case. And meanwhile, the people that you're out there with they're criticizing and they're bashing the chief of police, who is working tirelessly to get this child recovered. And because someone took a low blow at her, you know what I mean? Like, now we're supposed to just yeah. And I don't even think that's happening, you know, because now she's moseyed on over to fucking Voices Behind My Balls. That was fun to watch.
So often the parents, they're not into the position, or they don't have the mental capacity.
Sorry. Is it okay if I say something to them? Okay. I'm not lying. Hi, Smiley, politely. If any of our Patreon subs and shit want to send us drinks, pizzas, shit like that, make sure when you send it to the address that you say, give it to the protesters.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Real Lady Justice. Nancy Grace is totally a tragedy pimp. I agree with you.
And not give it to these low-life motherfuckers.
All right. It's
A junkie.
A junkie.
A real junkie.
You know, listen, I'm not saying
Real junkie. I'm saying it.
I'm
I'm
not
saying
saying
I am.
true
Just say
junkie.
Molly is.
But listen.
Molly's saying it. Just say that bitch is saying it. Point to me.
So she couldn't barely remember the kid's name, didn't know how old he was, and here she is out there trashing her grandmother, who hasn't been charged with a crime. Now, am I a fan of Billy Joe? No, I'm not. But they don't know anything about her. They're just like, hey, so we're going to go trash this lady in front of her house? Cool. Let's go do that. That was it. That was exactly the mindset. That was what the agreed upon. That was the agreed upon mission. let's go in front of this lady's house without actually knowing a fucking thing about her and call her all kinds of names and disturb her neighbors and harass her neighbors until the police take her to jail. For what? We don't know.
Let me say this, bitch. I'm
Listen.
saying it. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. She's a junkie.
I'm just
She's a
saying,
junkie.
she could definitely play one on television. Holy shit, this lady.
It's not a true story.
She looks like goddamn Jack Christmas, for Christ's sake. Holy shit. Oh, all right, I gotta stop. That's
Who she's talking about is Voices Behind My Balls. Cher. She's talking about her. Like right there.
not nice.
Sorry.
She looks like goddamn Jack Christmas, for Christ's sake. Holy shit. This lady.
It's not a true story.
She looks like goddamn Jack Christmas, for Christ's sake. Holy shit. Oh, all right, I gotta stop. That's not nice.
She does.
Holy shit. Send her some concealer, people. Share.
Oh my
Share.
God.
Holy shit.
Send her a bottle of antibiotics.
Oh, goddamn. Put that on the wish list. Put some goddamn concealer on the wish list.
I always knew I wanted to help people.
You guys know there was a guy on the cliff looking down at us. There was a guy on the cliff.
You see what I'm talking about? Real Lady Justice. Now, I'm not trying to be a dick, okay? I'm being honest. Like, you and we discussed this on panel yesterday in Deet's panel, and you're like, I'm shocked that she was on panel with Cher tonight and Billy Joe was in chat. Mind blown. Very troubling. See, here's the thing, Real Lady Justice. I'm not shocked at all. My mind is not blown. Is it troubling? Sure. Of course it's troubling. I'll agree with you on that. But I'm not shocked and my mind is not blown. This is what we were talking about yesterday, and I was 100% confident. And I'm not blaming you and criticizing you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing you for wanting to be like, well, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's a kind act towards another human being, and I will never trash talk somebody for having a kind act, for expressing a kind act towards another human being. I won't do that. But I'm just defending my position is all I'm doing here. And my position was, okay. You're like, well, let's wait till she does it again. And I'm just like, I know she'll do it again. You know, whether or not she's going to do it is not a question to me. It's just a question of when. You know what I mean? And look, and we'll go over some of that.
Cliff looking down at us.
I told you they were watching us over there.
Well, they were watching us when over there.
I told you.
That as long as the passion is there, I can do this forever. You know,
Agreed.
And your class is running from you. It's hiding. And the grandmother gave the trash to the trash collector. It's trash. I wonder, hey, Ruth, are you the one that dropped that baby off in the trash that you don't mind dropping any other child off? Just curious. Were you part of the trash collection? Just curious.
Stop me? Have I given up? Of course not. Have I thought about it? Of course I have.
And we get to go out in these communities with the people.
But St. Jude has been such a prevalent part of our YouTube communities. It's been the most popular go-to fundraiser. It's been the most popular go-to scams. Listen, it's all revolved around St. Jude.
And going on.
Her excuse for going to St. Jude, don't forget, people. Don't forget that her excuse for going to St. Jude was to expose St. Jude for being frauds, to show where your money's going. This is the biggest scam on YouTube, right? St. Jude, everybody supports St. Jude. Everybody sends money to St. Jude. Let's show where your money's going, was the whole intent. That in itself comes from a shitty place. It's not somebody who's just like not thinking. That comes from a shitty fucking place, from a shitty person who's going to have to like make a whole lot of serious, deep changes in themselves before they could be given any credit in character. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not like somebody who is just doing something because it's, maybe it's a little shocking. Ha ha ha. Oh shit, man, that was fucked up. I probably shouldn't have done that. That's not her. Right. Deets on the street. Exactly. And she wasn't, the intent of St. Jude's was YouTube BS, not about the kids. And what it was, she was willing to dox these kids who were fighting the most difficult battle a human being can physically battle on their own. Like, that is, it's crazy. Children. And she was willing to like show them as some sort of some sort of joke for the sake of the YouTube BS, as you put it, you know? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, heels in the air. Everyone is doing exactly what Molly said they would do. Go after Mallory. She must be thrilled. It's weird as fuck to me that MGL getting 2 strikes made House of Williams the monster. House of Williams is not the monster for MGL getting 2 strikes. You're talking apples and oranges. You're talking 2 completely different situations, heels in the air. You're talking 2 completely different scenarios here. She has the strikes, MGL, and we're talking about MGL as much as we're talking about Mallory. And MGL has the 2 strikes. It's a win. I mean, what else is there to do right now? Now, if she pops up causing more trouble, that's worth talking about. I'm going to go over it. But all I'm saying is, why is House of Williams getting some sort of praise now all of a sudden? And why is it weird now that that someone is reviewing and talking about her? Why is it wrong? Is it like unfair that I'm talking about someone who has done all of these things and seems completely unapologetic for it, for reviewing her? There's 2 situations happening at once, and unfortunately I think a lot of people are mixing them into one. I know I have myself at first, right? And I respectfully, heels in the air, I believe that's what you're doing right now. It's just my opinion. I mean, it's just, she is benefiting so much from this situation. And all I'm saying is, I haven't forgotten. Like, let's take a look. Okay. We'll come back to this, but let's take a look at something real quick. All right. Okay. So now her most recent videos, 7,000 views. They go up to 7,000 views, 6,000, 6,000, 10,000, Mallory versus Molly. 9,000, the one before that, did MGL's husband ask me to assist in fraud. 9.4 thousand, she's gone, whatever the fuck that was. So you ladies want to talk about me. 8.2 thousand views, and I'm going backwards here. All cried out. 12,000 views. Why I left heels on the ground. 9,000 views. I believe that's where it started. That's exactly where it started. Okay. Then before that, the GOP versus the trans population, who will win. 1.6 thousand views. She went from 1.6 thousand views to the drama starting with MGL to 9,000 views. That's a hell of a jump. And that's an average. That's like an average of at least 10,000 views since this drama started. Okay. All this before 3,000 views tops. That video that Deets used, where it's talking about Summer, where she's talking about Summer Wells, 1.5 thousand views. Are you catching what I'm saying here? This was all what she was trying to do. and I'm not going to sit here and be scrutinized for attacking her all because the trans issue became an issue in this situation. I'm just not going to let that happen. I'm sorry. Because to me, it changes nothing as far as the character of who we're talking about. For some reason, it makes a difference, and I don't know why. But I'm telling you, y'all got played. I'm telling you. Because let me explain something. And I explained this on Deet's panel yesterday. This was all, in my personal opinion, I have no proof of this, of course. This is just theory, folks. But I think it's pretty safe to very much consider this to be a likelihood. Because we've heard how Mallory talks about MGL. We've heard how she talks about victims in these cases that she doesn't bother to do any research on. We've heard all of these things. And then we've heard how she talks about channels. And we've heard how she talks about MGL and her little formula for how she likes to make money, blah, blah, blah. This means that she has a very keen understanding of how these things work. So it's naive, in my opinion, based on what she's shown us with her own content. It's naive of us to think that she did not completely and totally play this out. Now, I don't think it's playing out the way that she planned, because she didn't count on some people being like, dude, I see right through this shit. Because what's happening is, I think that she befriended MGL, got buddy with her because she saw right through MGL's bullshit. She knows exactly the kind of person MGL is. And she knew that MGL deep down is a transphobic piece of shit. And House of Williams took full advantage of that, in my personal opinion. She knew that MGL wanted to have a little trans buddy, a token trans partner in crime. She knows Mallory sees how she treats Princess. Mallory sees how she treats Justice for All. Mallory sees how she treats Laura. Mallory's not stupid. She sees these things. So she's like, I can put myself in a very similar position because I'm the token trans friend to her. Then I'm going to start a rift with her, start drama with her, because she's a drama channel and I'm a drama channel. Because people getting along and being friends in the drama community doesn't generate views. People being friends and then having a falling out in the drama community, having an implosion, generates views. And she absolutely knew this was going to happen. She planned this from the get-go. She went from having 1,000 views on one video, jumping to almost 10 in the next. And then people wanted a piece of her because they saw this happening. Because MGL is such a vile human being. Oh my God, we have a new ally. You know, I mean, it's just asinine, dude. I can't see that. I can't highlight that. Cadillac, thank you. Gifted 10 memberships. Oh, shit. Go ahead and read those off. Christy M, congrats. Real Lady Justice as well, congrats. R. Mary, Stereophonic Mom, Jen, Christina Keys, Language of Horses, Vicky Carson, Nicole Marie. Awesome. Congrats to all you guys. Thank you so much for that, Cadillac. That's fucking cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, come on, man. Like, you're gonna sit here. Not in so many words, not exactly perfectly imperfect. No, not so much, but kind of loosely. Yeah. She played off of MGL's transphobia. She didn't use herself being trans. She played off of MGL's transphobia. She fell right into her trap. MGL did the most predictable thing that a transphobic idiot like her would absolutely do. And she absolutely benefited from it. Absolutely. I mean, the evidence is there. It's there. Like, you could see in her behavior that she is trying to latch on to anybody that'll have her. She tried to latch on to Queen Bee and her community, and then she got pretty much shut down last night. Because people were like, hold on, wait a second. wait. You don't expect us to forget about everything that you've done leading up to this. Why all of a sudden is that all erased? That's bizarre. It doesn't seem to make sense. Oh, absolutely, Mallory played her. Like, I saw it happening. You could tell that there are people that if I respect my private conversations with people, but there are people that I DM talking to about this that I'm like, watch. Watch and see. Now they're buddy. Just wait till it explodes. Just wait. Leslie Kohler gifted 5 memberships too. Thank you so much. Paige Davis was gifted. Nisba, Francesca, Serene, Roach Pussy, Catherine 66. Oh no, not Catherine 60. You're already a member. I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Leslie Kohler. Yeah, no, absolutely. Why? I mean, why is that so hard to believe that somebody would take advantage of someone's complete and total fucking ignorance and stupidity to benefit themselves? I mean, it was fair game. I'm not even criticizing her for doing it. I'm just saying that's what happened. As a matter of fact, like, if you're in the drama community and you're playing the drama game to get views, dude, she fucking Jedi'd that shit. I'm not even trashing her for it. Like, I'm just saying that's what fucking happened. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's, yeah, it's just funny that people are like, oh my God, appalling that you are attacking her. Nobody's attacking her. I'm just telling you, this is what fucking happened. And I'm just saying, people don't forget. That's all. That's all. There's some fucking serious simping in this motherfucker, dude. I love that shit. I love when it happens. I love when I see that. Let's go back to deep.
And connecting with his family.
But you know what's funny is when I get on the bullhorn, my problems go away.
Well,
And let me ask you guys this. Type of 1, if you thought at first that Mallory and MGL's fight was staged. Type of 1, if you thought at first that their falling out was staged. Wow. There's a lot of fucking ones in my chat right now. Okay. Now, based on that many ones, now based on that being the result, okay, why is it so hard to believe my very simple theory that this was the plan of one person instead of two people being in on it? Why is that so hard to believe? Come on, people. I mean, look at I can see you're smarter than that. Just by all the ones. I'm just saying, man. It's fucking obvious, and it's not trans bashing or anything like that to fucking say it. You know, it's not have lack of empathy for somebody who's a victim of trans bashing. It's not. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Should she have been trans bashed? Absolutely fucking not. Of course not. And it's fucked up. And MGL is getting what she deserves from it. But do I feel sorry for her? This is a person who clearly shows that she has no empathy for anyone else. Why should I feel sorry for her? Do I feel for the trans community? Absolutely. But not for her individually. No, I don't. No, I do not. And think what you want about it. Think what you want. But I stand by that. This is a person of extremely low character who does not give a shit about attacking victims. Why should I give a fuck about how somebody made her feel? No matter what they used to do it. Simple.
Cha-ching. Let's raise money for that rank steak tuna tank. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get up off your fucking ass. Oh, you got a problem. You got a problem with all of us that went down to Tennessee, right? You got a problem with that. Oh, you don't like the way you got. Guess what, bitch? I got right in that mother's face, Candace Bly's face. I got right in her face. And you don't like that I said, I'm sorry your child is dead. I fucking said it because I know she's dead. We'll never know. We'll never know what
He denied that so many times too, which is really funny.
happened to little Summer fucking Wells. She is a
Calamity Jade. Thank you so much. The Krama shit will piss me off forever. Drama and crime don't go together. It's like a moral terrorist, a glorious typhoon, blasphemous Bible study, or pleasant assault. It's not a good thing, in my opinion. I should be paying you for these comments. Like, you really put a lot of thought into that, and I agree with it 100%. Thank you so much, Calamity Jade. It's insane. Yes. And here's the thing is I don't give a shit. Like I watch the drama stuff sometimes too. You know what I mean? There's people in the drama community that I'm very cool with, and I'll drop into their chat sometimes, you know, but it's just very funny to me that, you know, most people have to, sorry, it's hard to find the words, man. But I agree with Calamity Jade saying that, yeah, I've been saying it for years, that drama channels need to just stop covering true crime. And I get why it happens, but these people like MGL she consciously knows the things that I say. She knows already the things that I've said about the true crime genre. I know that she knows about it because she bases her channel, her content on it. She'll take the drama involving a case and then create more drama from it. She'll involve herself. She'll insert herself, and she'll contact family members, and then she'll get involved, and then create more drama. Find the drama that took place in the case, that may have taken place in the case, and then insert herself in it and become part of the drama. That's what she does. And a lot of creators do that. The shittiest ones do that. See, Betty will just go and show up with a bullhorn and yell. You know what I mean? But she'll contact them and bring them on live streams and be like, I'm your friend, and then turn on them and do the same shit to a crime victim that, you know, or a member of the family that Mallory did to her. Get close and be friends and then have a dramatic falling out for content. It's as simple as that. Does MGL trans bashing her cancel that from happening? No. Still happened. Still happened.
Is a cash cow. That name, Summer Wells. Cha-ching.
I know that what we do is extremely unique.
I love that shit. Tahiti, Arizona, thank you. Looking good, Gloria. You're a class act. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
There's not any other YouTubers that go out into the field like this. No one does.
And as I've said before, there's a reason why no one does that. It's because it's fucking stupid. Because if you were a pioneer and creating something that's never been done before, and it's actually something that's a good idea, well, then you'd have a shit ton more followers than you do. Bullhorn Betty would have a shit ton more followers than she does. But that's not the case. JLR would have a shit ton more followers than he does. That's not the case. The reason why that's not the case is because the people with 500,000 to 1 million subscribers, these people do not engage in this behavior. They don't. That's not what gets them there. Those people are smart enough to know that that is just causing trouble and being a loudmouth, insane person and making it a stupid, ridiculous spectacle of yourself. That's all that is.
Doesn't like us.
Oh, poor Trey. Marissa's so rough. Oh, Marissa's so rough. Shut up. Shut up.
She's such a miserable asshole.
He felt like the better option was to check out of life forever. He was willing.
Now, I really want to like focus on this part for a second, because I think it takes a special kind of empty asshole to feel this way and say this shit out loud with such conviction. Like, seriously, like you have to be lacking in substance, to say the least, when it comes to anything that's good. Like that sugar and spice and everything nice that comes in little girls. That's not that. This is an example that she missed that. That didn't happen for her. This is an example of that missing.
He felt like the better option was to check out of life forever. He was willing to let that baby be with that little monster forever. He decided that
this woman's husband tried to kill himself, dude. Like, and you don't live there, bro. Like, how dare you get to a point where you feel like you have a place to talk about people like that in a situation like that, when you can't even, like, that's crazy to me that people have the audacity to do that.
that the better option was to check out of life.
Wow.
All was good. No, yes, my daughter was seen laying up against some cold milk, right? Yes, she looked like she was sleeping propped up against some cold ice milk, right? Was she sleeping?
Bro.
Was she sleeping in the back?
Why does, dude, she sounds, when she laughs, it straight up sounds like a fucking woodpecker, like going at it to a tree. Like
the truck. Was she sleeping propped up against some cold ice milk, right? Was she sleeping up against some cold ice milk, right?
Was
she sleeping?
Straight up sounds like a fucking woodpecker.
Was she sleeping in the back of the truck, propped up against some ice milk, right? Some cold milk, or was she being preserved? Listen, I laugh because you can't make this shit up, right? Listen, people. Was she sleeping or was she being preserved by the ice milk in the back seat?
See, that's not somebody who, oops, I said the wrong thing. I had a slip of the tongue and I should apologize for it. That's not what that is. Apology doesn't cover that. Tahiti, Arizona, thank you so much. They don't know what class is. Just look at their hair. Exactly. Thank you. That's not, oh, well, you know, they apologize, so it's all good. No, that takes a certain level of character to say that kind of shit. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, so everybody got so sick and tired of MGL to where they all had to mass report because that was the final straw. So everybody mass reports MGL, which is fine. What I'm saying is because she trans bashed, because she said transphobic things. But when it comes to things like this about victims and their families and rumors and no facts and things that we all call out, right? Things that we all call out. Nobody wants to come together and mass report that. For some reason, the line is crossed with trans bashing. You know, like that's all I'm saying. In the crime community, I find that strange. That's all. I find that to be a fascinating. To me, it's a fascinating observation. It's a fascinating observation of people in mass behavior. Not calling out one person. I'm saying and I'm not even calling out those people. I'm saying it's weird, you know, to me. To me, I find it fascinating that was holy shit. This person needs to be stopped, but it didn't happen when so many other lines have been crossed when it came to the damage caused to a family of a victim of a crime.
You decide.
No, don't be contacting these people, please. You don't.
They're going to contact those people, my dear. They're going to, right? And not only that, you know, unfortunately, if this wave turns, if the slightest stench, right now you're so lucky. You're getting a pass. You have no idea how fortunate you are, right? That for some miracle of miracles, you have some sort of likability factor down here, that you are getting some really Hail Mary pass down here from the YouTubers, the wrath of YouTube.
Wow.
That no other,
wow.
No other one that I've seen in recent times have received, right?
I'll follow you. What's the worst that can happen? We get a ticket?
Nothing, I know, sure. I've known for 30 years.
Nice.
God, I'm sorry that your baby's dead. I'm sorry that you don't have a soul. No soul. You have no soul.
We want to know where you put Summer Wells. You need to ask Candace. Where did she put Summer Wells? What did you do with her?
Make me famous. Make me popular. I'm going to get rich. Are you sure that's what you want? Think about it. Why is it that my videos that are very, very negative, right, make money? When I put out positive messages, shitty views,
Right.
No comments.
See,
No one cares.
that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I'm not attacking House of Williams for what she did with Molly Golightly. Don't think that for a second. Don't think that for a second. What I'm saying is Molly Golightly is clearly this person here. We all know it. Mallory knows it. So Mallory was like, how do I play the player? And she did. Good for her. Like, that shit happening in the drama community to me is fucking fun. That's great. Good stuff. That's, dare I say, drama. Great. That's awesome. But, you know, in the crime community, you know what I mean? So I this is just me reminding everyone the difference.
It's about the life coaching stuff. They say they do. People are buying Molly Golightly merchandise.
Leslie Kohler, thank you for gifting 5 more memberships. Bambi Nicole, Sabian Pagan, Susan HS, True Crime Dime, Becca Rebel. Wow, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Let's address this comment real quick. MGL went after a listed protected class. Right. Why aren't we demanding that families of victims aren't a listed protected class? That's all I'm saying.
And gift cards just to talk to me. Okay? So think about it. Think about what you say about people. Meow. Meow.
That shit never gets old. Again, thanks to Deets on the Street for that, man. Great video, as always. Deets on the Street's awesome. Let me see. Now, I don't... yeah, to me, like... I mean, MGL is... I can't even go over anything now. There's nothing I can go over. Because she's I mean, it's a win. Okay. Let's go over this shit.
Got a super chat, darling.
You love this duo. Many people for a long
So-
time have been begging to see this duo on my end, anyways,
Look
together.
at now it's a duo. Like we just watched in Deet's video where House of Williams is calling her fucking Jack Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, girl, holy shit, concealer, holy shit. And now she's latching on to wherever she can. And obviously, you know, Cher's doing what she does. She sees that she's hot shit right now. She knows it's going to get her views to have her on there. And she's just latching on to wherever she can right now. Striking while the iron's hot. And she created the fire to get the iron hot. She did this for herself. Now, granted, people aren't necessarily falling for it. People are like, I see what you did. They may not realize that they know it in detail, but they really know, because as soon as it's explained, they go, oh, yeah, totally. Fuck, look. But when you see that now she's on her panel after not really being on really being welcome at Queen's last night. And she was welcome. It was just like, you need to face the questions that are being asked you. That's all it was. It was like, you could be up here. Queen wasn't being like, let's fucking fuck you. You're not fucking welcome here. You're a piece of shit. She wasn't like that at all. She was just like, listen, you're welcome here pretty much. Or at least people on her panel were saying so. You're welcome here, but you got to take the heat that's coming to you, because the fact of the matter is you did these things that people are calling you out on. Right? So, but she couldn't hack it. So where does she go? She goes over here.
Together, Mallory. Thank you so much for that, Samantha. That is much appreciated. Happy to be here. Thank you, Dubs. Happy to have you guys here. So we're going to pull up some updates on Leilani Simon. And then after we read the updates, of course, there's some stuff I'd like to get into with Mallory on that, and some stuff that she would like to say as well. So don't forget, this is a place where we show love and messages of kindness and positive energy for BJ, Quentin's loved ones, because I think that's what's right. That is a dear friend of mine. She does know that we are chatting today, but it's also been said that Mallory Williams here was not the one that was making people have nightmares, have anxiety.
Now, is there anybody in here that actually really like feels for Billy Joe in the Quentin Simon case? If you know all the facts, I mean, I don't know if she actually did the things that Bullhorn Betty was accusing her of through a bullhorn, but I do know the paper trail and the behavior that we saw. So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Billy Joe in that case at all.
And PTSD moments and that. So for that, thank you. You did not go and like, I don't care what people say or how they think their opinions are of you there. I'm going to tell you my opinion. I wasn't happy everyone was out there, but with everyone else out there, you were not doing the most. So thank you for that, because I witnessed what.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because that wasn't my intentions.
Yeah, I don't think it was, and I could tell it was others, and I think they very much wanted you to make that.
I didn't hear the dead naming, but I heard that I saw that she pulled it, and I heard that was why she pulled it. And yeah, nobody here condones that shit at all. Just for the record.
Your intentions, but watching it back, you weren't there for that. You weren't there for that.
Thank you. Thank you for whoever just sent me a PayPal. I just had a PayPal come in. Thank you. I'm going to check it later after the stream. Thank you so much. Be sure to check the app, because I'll message you within the app. Thank you. Go ahead, Cher.
I'm just looking for okay.
Okay. This has to like just go on.
It's not wise for her to be out our first conversation, so I'll watch the chat.
It's in Florida, submerged in. You understand? I'm not trying to get graphic, but we understand what happened. Well, one in Florida, one in Georgia. It's going to be very tricky, and I'm interested to see how this plays out. And then if she should
that all the time, never take a charge for a man, Leilani, and remember her reaction, right?
Yeah,
I won't.
And should this be another verdict, anything like Casey Anthony, she's going to be.
Oh my God, bro!
I'm feeling it, girl. I'm feeling it.
How do you feel, Mallory? If it's okay, like so. Because it's easy to get caught up in the kerfuffle.
And why is she so fucking interesting? Because there's nothing, I can't think of any other than the questions along the lines of what I asked her last night. I can't imagine wanting to have her on my panel and asking her questions. Like, I don't give a shit to know her as a person, I mean, and what's funny is I wish her the best in the drama community. I absolutely do. But I'm just saying, she starts talking about crime cases. She's subject to the same fucking review that I've always done.
Full of things, and you don't even know you're caught up in it sometimes, right? Because I'm guilty of that. Now that you kind of know, and I know you're standing back and you're taking a look and you're like, yeah, I do not want, I need to not be a tragedy pimp. Is there things now that you will do? How will you go about differently now? Because one thing that I don't think people understand either is the true crime thing. And then you, Mallory Williams, the House of Williams, I heard you say is that it's a persona. It's a YouTube for our entertainment persona.
And that will stay intact. You know, my larger than life personality, listen, that's who I am.
That wasn't even a question.
I'm on YouTube, right? And
I think that's okay. Yeah.
A lot of the way I think is just it's innate in me. It's who I am. Everybody has their moral compass, and you know, aside from me saying, listen, you know what I'm going to do differently? Here's my promise. Here's my promise. I thought long and hard about it. Never will I ever lie and say that I'm having lunch with my mother when I know full well that I'm not going to do it. There you go. I'm never going to walk into any facility and say I'm having lunch with my mother when in fact I know that not to be the truth. It's never going to happen again, right? Never happen again.
This is fucking bizarre.
And for example, I don't make it a habit of going to children's hospitals. In fact, that was I've only been to one children's hospital in my entire life. So I don't know. It's probably going to be a very long time before I visit another children.
So wait. So we're supposed to think that there's some sort of justification of what you did because you don't make a habit of showing up to children's hospitals. Nobody's accusing you. Nobody with any sense is accusing you of a serial children's hospital troll. Nobody's doing that. What are you talking about? We're just talking about the fact that you showed up to St. Jude for the sake of being an asshole. Like literally just for the sake of being a piece of shit.
The children's hospital, if ever. So there's that. I don't think I'm going to make a habit of going around to children's hospital like Santa Claus, you know, or any other occasion. So there's that. You're probably not going to tune in and see that anytime soon.
Yeah.
So going forward, you're probably going to get a lot of the same.
Why wouldn't you just say, that was fucking stupid and I shouldn't have done it? You know what I mean? Like she's given the opportunity here to at least start, right? But here it's like, ha 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 ha, it's all jokes. Oh, you probably won't be seeing me do that for a while.
Same personality that you always have. You never know where I'm gonna pop up, and that's part of the fun and interest and intrigue of the House of Williams.
Yeah, and that's there's a calling for that. Thank you. True love has pause. Yeah, I agree. When I heard that, now here's where, because people share what about her in the children's hospital. I was gonna do a live and go through it and say it, but I'll just say it here. That is the only part I didn't like. Oh well, shit, you're gonna lie and say you're meeting your mom. Only part. Now for me, yeah, I kind of already knew you can't have cameras in there, whatever. But now that was all washed away.
Am I on Cher's side? What kind of question is that?
Because I can understand. I watched the Molly Golightly raise one time, one fundraiser I caught. She was singing, dancing. I think she raised about 50 grand. Now, love her or hate her, what I always say is you give credit where credit's due.
You do, and she has. Over time, she has raised a significant amount of money chair dancing. She has.
Yep. And so I see that
but wasn't it her? Oh no, it wasn't. That's right. Sorry. Never mind. My bad.
You want to see that. You people, where's the money going to? Like, I understand that now. However, everything else that play out after that, that was not okay. I'm so glad you recorded that. I don't know how people think that's right. That, in my honest opinion, the one thing did not have anything to do with each other. It was a mess. And so, yeah, so I understood why you would want to go there. Perhaps it wouldn't be for me, but you know what? I don't think perhaps it's for you again either, but you learn. You did that, learned. Okay, well, it's moving on now. You know,
Yeah.
better.
I tend to move forward. I'm not a person that stands in one place for very long. You know, if there's a lesson to be learned, I acknowledge there's a lesson to be learned, and I'm a
bullshit.
A self problem solver. I'm not one that needs to be taken by the hand and taught lessons, you know, on the chalkboard.
Oh no. We know that.
Of life.
Nobody's saying that.
I'm a self problem solver. It's just the way it is.
Agreed. I think what you did, I think how you created the situation was was a work of art. Was drama community fucking art.
And you know, I move forward in life, and I travel my path, and that's just it. Like most people, you know, and some people choose to look backwards, and some people choose to walk backwards, and some people I look back and they're still standing, you know, way back in the distance, 7-8 years ago. And I just look back and I'm like, Jesus, you poor saps, But I'm like, that's your choice.
Yeah.
I'm in 2023. In fact, I'm in March 2023. You know, I'm not back in Memphis. I'm well beyond Memphis. You know.
So.
And
a little bit. I want to
get thing about that is she did that on her own. She was like, "Oh, these fucking idiots are showing up places and shit and getting all these views. I'm on the road. If I show up some fucking place and cause a fucking stir, I'm gonna get a bunch of views too."
I get into what was the appealing. What drew your attention? You said, oh, "Okay, heels on the ground." Here, and really quick, you guys. There's not a lot like that I can say. Really, okay, Leilani Simon, bail, no bail. They are trying to drop some charges, right? But if it's the law, and I'm against wrongful charges, we need to have faith that the
and
justice system is.
This didn't start with the trans thing either. Like I watched it happen. It was really interesting. I went to a channel, and this channel, you know, showed some kindness to me. And so like I won't overlook that, but I'm not going to name them. But this channel, and because they showed kindness to me, I pull up their live and I'm about to comment like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, and just before I did that, I saw Mallory super chat this person $20 while this person was totally reviewing and criticizing her, right? Then showed up and she drops $20 and then tune changes all of a sudden. And now she's cool. You know, I was just like, what? In that case, it was all about a super chat. I watched it happen. I was like, and I was about to comment like, "Yo, what's up?" And then I was like, "Nope." I was like, man, that is some flip-flopping shit. Like it happened right then and there. Like I saw it happen in real time. I didn't watch a replay of it. I didn't see a clip of it. I fucking was about to like be like, "Yo." And then I was like, nope. I was like, wow, dude, really, bro? Okay.
Is doing what they're doing. Don't get your panties in a wad yet, but just be patient. And I promise you, there's going to be a day where you hear me and Billy roaring. I still very much, you know, check in what's going on, but it's not over with yet. We got to be careful. So like I said, I know that I'd love for you to have a conversation with her privately and then us chat, and you'll see a whole different. I think you'll be like, oh my gosh, like what did these people do to this poor woman? So, but
well,
now
before we go too much further into heels or any of that, honest to goodness, how is Billy coping? Like, share with us that. I mean, how has she been doing? I mean, has she opened up to you? Has she shared with you? And what was it like? Did
Y'all are
she
killing
did
me in
she
here.
encounter any protesters when she recently went to court to support Leilani? Was Leilani know she was there? Can you share any of that?
She stayed out of the way. She knew there was going to be, you know, certain people there, and they were, but they aren't.
Oh my God, Billy Joe has so much strength. You know, yeah. Like I went out there and I harassed her in front of her house relentlessly with a group of people. And then I caused a rift with one of the members of the people for content. And now I'm on Billy's side because I have nowhere else to go. And she's a fan of your channel and you are accepting me. So I'm okay with it.
They aren't allowed to record the Quentin's loved ones, so grandma and grandpa, you know, Billy Joel, they're not allowed to record her. So
well, right. And that rule was put in place because of them. I love that because they all fucking shit a brick because they weren't allowed to like film. And it's because of them that the judge made that ruling.
people are saying, well, she wasn't there. Da, da, da. She might not have been there where you can see, but she's absolutely, you know, following it. She's coping. Every day is different. It's very hard for her, you know. So one day maybe she can be doing a little bit better, but then maybe one day she gets a call, hey, can you come drop this off at the attorney's office? And then
but really, really,
you know, here we go. And it's so hard for her. She's really, really in a position you don't.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like you took, okay. You're defending a lady. Because here's the thing is I don't agree with harassing her. I don't agree with showing up to her fucking house. I don't agree with showing up to the courthouse. I don't agree with any of that bullshit. But we're still talking about a woman who took custody of Quentin because her mother was not fit and left Quentin with the mother. And I'm not saying she's at fault for what happened to Quentin. What I'm saying is I don't feel the same type of empathy for her that Cher is displaying that she does. Because I don't think that Cher feels much empathy for her either. I think that Cher sees her as a content ticket. You know, this is somebody that everybody was talking about in regards to this case. Now that the trial's coming up, she's got a golden ticket in her pocket. She's got an ace in her sleeve for content. You know, she's hoping she's going to have an interview on there one day and blah 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 and yeah. I don't buy this bullshit at all.
Don't wish.
I definitely don't buy Mallory's concern for her either.
Probably on your enemy even, or I would, because it is Mallory. It's like seeing her face, even when she's talking, she's like, I'm good. Like, no, you don't have to tell me you're good. Like, I know you're not good. I can.
Well, that's why I use the term coping, because it is a situation that you literally have to cope with, because there's no way that you could be good because
they're fucking now Cher and Billy Joe are fucking like blood sisters, and I can read you, girl. You don't have to put that fake front with me. I can read you, girl. Don't you? You know, so to her audience, she is the window into Billy Joe's soul. It's fucking hilarious.
and one, you don't longer have your grandchild.
Yeah.
And then you no longer have your daughter. This is definitely a coping situation.
Yeah.
You know,
she's doing the best she can. She sometimes doesn't think she's doing it well, but from some of us looking on the outside in, she's one hell of a woman.
Does she have somebody in her life?
Yes, Gator Girl's her bestie. She's always there. She's got there is some rumors. I want to just say that people are saying Billy's homeless. They've been catching her living out of a camper on some other lawn. That's not true, you guys. Please knock that shit off. She does not need that. Dolly, shame on you. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. No, it's ridiculous. She doesn't need any of that. So yeah, she's got some things that she's doing to occupy her time, her brain, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a hard one. It's hard to even.
I mean, I don't know if she's on drugs, okay? But if I were to guess, I'd say she's not now, but I have seen her before. You know what I mean? She's got a different look in her eye. Like, I've seen other footage of her where her eyes are like fucking like just beaming, bro. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm seeing here. She seems pretty level, you know, but I've seen clips where she looks pretty lit up. That's why I think she's on drugs.
Hear her sometimes, talk to her, see her. Can you give me just 90 seconds? I want to see, maybe if I give her a call just to say, hey, people love you, just to say hi.
Sure.
I don't want to do it if
just
she's
to
not.
boost the views a little bit. Let me just boost some content.
Tell her she's.
Let me use my wild card that I keep in my pocket for content. Hold on.
Being thought about.
Definitely. I'm going to mute for just 1 second, just in
Okay.
case. Okay.
I don't know. Who's Dolly Boy? Who's Dolly Boy?
Dolly Vision.
Oh, that's Dolly. Oh, I'm just reading some of the chat while you're doing your thing, okay? They should be enforcing proper media passes instead of allowing them to present their own. Listen, I would suspect that, you know, in today's time, that's probably a very wide net. And I'm not sure with freedom of press, I don't know how they're going to really police that.
Yeah, translation. I have one of those, and I want it to work for me thanks to Battery Betty. She printed me one out on her 1991 fax machine / printer. So yeah, now I have one, and I don't know if I want to trash talk that, because I hope to be able to use mine in some nefarious situation like they do.
I don't know going forward. How do you police that, and how do you start to say who can be part? You know, who can be part of press and who can't? I think eventually that's going to work its way through the court system, and probably very high up as time goes on. Just my opinion. Somebody says that's a muddy situation. I agree. That's going to have to be worked out, probably all the way up to the Supreme Court one day. Oh, goodness to gracious. Somebody says very true, very true. I know at courts you have to present credentials and get the proper documentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Certain so
but that's a wide net. No, it's not.
Production he's with, but Brett
not.
Buffington.
Like, you're fucking forging. You can't just make press passes, bro. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Is okayed in there, and I think there's two.
Like, there's a reason why they never let Betty in. Have you noticed that? Like, ever since Betty made these press passes, have you noticed that they don't fucking let her in to press conferences when she tries to get into press conferences? You notice that they don't let her into courtrooms when she tries to get into courtrooms? Like, The reason being is because those fucking press passes that she makes herself are not valid. They can't be used. People look at this and go, what the fuck is this? Yeah, no, sorry.
Other media, so the real media. So Bullhorn Betty is not media. She is not allowed to be recording. And if I ever catch that she's got the family on recording, I have writing from BJ that puts me in charge of being able to delete and report people. So try me.
What? From who?
Yeah.
From BJ?
Do you have any
from Billy Joe? Like, wait, she gave you some sort of policing power? What policing power does Billy Joe have? Exactly. I got to hear that one more time.
From BJ ever catch that she's got the family on recording? I have writing from BJ that puts me in charge of being able to delete and report people.
Delete
try
and
me.
report people. Try me. Delete. So let me just get this straight. So you have a note from Billy Joe, who a lot of people feel like simply just escaped any charges in this situation because they just probably didn't think they would stick, and they probably rather focus their concentration on Leilani. A lot of people speculate that. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, but you're telling me that person gave you a note that gives you power to delete and report. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any I'm trying to think some good questions. I did give her a call. I will pass on the love to her. Probably best if she doesn't come on, to be quite honest, because we don't want to BJ, she'll say it all because she's an open book, and sometimes that will get her in trouble right now with an ongoing investigation.
LV, but you tried to bring her on. You didn't figure this out in the first place. You didn't you didn't have this already in mind after your long already, deep sisterly friendship with her that allows you to be a window into her soul for all of us to know what's going on in the heart and soul of Billy Joe? Really? So, but after she declines to come on is when you're like, yeah, probably a bad idea since it's, an open case and,
No, I didn't get a complimentary media pass.
We should make one. We need a bedazzled one. I want a bedazzled one. Okay.
Oh, that's all I need is the fake media pass to get me in trouble.
Can I ask you
yes.
some heels on the ground stuff?
Sure, go ahead.
You've been doing a great job exposing on. Make sure you're sub to her channel. Listen to what she's got to say. Now,
exposing.
What
I love it.
drew you to that organization?
I love it.
What drew you to it? And second part
it's
of
an
that
organization,
is,
y'all.
that you could offer that organization.
Well, I had a very strong passion for saving the children and saving the world. And no, okay, listen, it was obviously, you kind of are the people you run with. And, when you're running with people, you kind of, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Listen, you kind of are the people you run with. And, when you're running with people, you kind of, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Listen, let me just start from the very beginning.
I don't.
It's like me and Benny me and Benny and them teaming up. You kind of get like with likeness, and then it's too much.
Let's go back to what was it? Cash Gurning, Cash Gurning.
It's codependency and insecurity. In your case, codependency. That's all that was, and you're basically admitting it in your own words. Like you're basically saying that you just decided to run with them just to run with them. You didn't give a fuck about victims. Like, you're admitting it. Like, you didn't give a fuck about anything other than I was just a product of my environment. Basically, I decided to kick it with these people. They accepted me, and then whatever the fuck they were doing, I was down for. Like, that's basically what you're saying right here.
Gurney case?
Okay, that's a case I know of, but I didn't follow that one a lot. But
Well,
okay.
Molly was covering that case back in the day, her and the Tiffany lady, right?
Okay.
The original ditch pig. Listen, so here's the deal. I told Molly, listen, because Molly went from being mildly entertaining and fun to covering that. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? And I'm like, listen, you're probably not going to see much of me in your side chat anymore because I'm not into this shit. Like, this is going to make me cut my wrist. This is depressing. You know, these dead kids. Listen, this is not fun for me, Marissa. This isn't fun for me, right? So that was way back then. And then what happened? Well, what happened is...
See, now that did happen. That did happen. But that doesn't change the fact. Now, I will say, yeah, because I remember reviewing it. I remember her showing up, reviewing it, and then after she left, I was like, yeah, she fucking saw what the fuck is going on here. I reviewed it. The live is still up. I don't even know which one it is. But I know I reviewed it where I was just watching her feel completely awkward in that group of people and left immediately the next day. Because she was like, what the fuck is going on here? What are you people doing? And there was the vibe that somebody was going to jail. Guess what? Dolly ended up in handcuffs. Went to jail. Like, that's not, hey, I grew a conscience. That was, this shit is too fucking hardcore for me. You know, I'm not trying to get locked up because I don't even give a fuck about what you guys are doing out here. So the fact that I don't give a fuck, you think I'm going to go to jail for it? No. So she left.
Is, you know, after this kept going on, it just wasn't Marissa all of a sudden. It was this person and that person and this person. And, you know, and here comes Summer Wells, this little blonde girl, right? Holy bejesus. It was everybody. It was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, I'm in business over here. If I better get with the...
You know that the Summer Wells case took place long before the Quentin Simon case, don't you? Like, you know that, right? Because she just says, like, and then all of a sudden, the Summer Wells case, holy bejesus. But they had already done, before you hooked up with these people, they had already gone to Tennessee and acted like complete assholes. And you knew about it. What are you talking about? So after they engaged in this insane behavior, you still went out there. And if you didn't know about it and you went out there, that makes you even fucking dumber. That proves that you don't give a fuck about what you were out there for.
With the program, the abridged version is, Miss Williams, you better get with the program. Listen, you better get with the program.
Mm-hmm.
You better get with the program. So I got with the program. And I started reading about the children and reading about the missing kids and familiarizing myself because that's what my audience wanted.
No, you didn't.
You didn't. Listen, if your audience has an appetite for something, you better damn well get with the program.
Yep.
And that's just how it went. And before you know it, you're with the program. You're familiar with the true crime cases. You're familiar with everything that your comrades are familiar with and your audience is familiar with.
Okay. Right there. You never familiarized yourself with the cases, first of all. Second of all, these comrades that you refer to never familiarized themselves with the cases. Just so you know. I don't know if you've been watching, but there are many of us who talk about this. Not even your comrades, as you put it, have familiarized themselves with these cases. So here you are getting your information from them and admitting that you're getting your information from them when it's false information.
And, before you know it, you are a member of Heels on the ground. And that's just, in a nutshell, that's how it happens. We obviously skipped a lot of steps to get there, but we only got one show, right? Go watch my channel. If you want all the details, go sub up to House of Williams. There's a lot of video, right, that'll fill in blanks for you.
Corky, welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. There's no exits unless you just enter your card in there and decline it, but please don't do that. Thank you. Wow, I wanted to pull something up here. It's a little bit.
I never watch her channel, so I'm just lost. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Outside of Savannah.
Choo choo.
Okay.
Because I just want to point out. Okay, let me share. I'm just terrible. Okay, here we go.
And by the way, welcome everybody in the side chat. Can you put a 3 in the side chat if you're enjoying the show tonight?
Yes.
Listen, let us see some 3s if you're enjoying tonight's programming. Welcome everybody out there who's lurking and just taking it in.
Yeah,
Maybe
hey,
you're out
haters.
there. Yeah, just chilling out there, just listening. Welcome. Thank
Lots
you for
of 3s if you want to keep seeing us together, because she gives good energy. Like even before the show starts, I'm like,
yeah,
give
you
good
never know.
energy.
You never know. Listen, having a good time here. We do it again. We do it again.
Yeah.
Set to work
Your
$400.
place next.
You could wash 10 cars at $40 a car.
Ad blocker, YouTube Premium.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so here she is, not screaming at the house.
Wait, are you trying to imply that she didn't scream at the house?
I am going to do a little looking beautiful as usual.
And that same day she called you fucking Jack Christmas, right?
What was that about?
Let's drive over on this road into this neighborhood. But yeah, when I pulled up, listen, if not for these people just sitting out front, you would have easily just drove right by this house, because
it's true.
There's nothing about this neighborhood. Like I was, if you caught me on Bullhorn Betty's briefly, I stopped over there to say hi. It is very much like when you see these people.
Dude, and they even dress like fucking tourists doing this shit. That's what I find really fucking funny. Like they're out there acting like they're fucking, walking fucking Epcot Center all goddamn day. That's what they're dressed like. It's so weird.
Arrested for these most horrific things, on whether they be a school shooter, whether they be
So if everyone wasn't out there with their lawn chair, it's just an ordinary house. You just drive about, going about your day.
It's true. It was a very unassuming home, a very calm neighborhood. Otherwise, it was. I would have driven right past it. Oh my God, Cher, look, you got a very nice. Come on now, you got a really, somebody hooked you up in the side chat.
Oh my goodness. Oh, haters gonna hate. Yes, they are amazing. I'm not blue. It's all good. Been out of touch. I got my new phone. All of my mods, you will be blue because you throw too much money around here. You deserve the wrench, which is a really fucked up thing to say because you're paying me, but I'm going to make you work for me. But okay. Thank you so much. Happy to see you look great tonight. Thank you. The help of my daughter.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Not for nothing. It really is a beautiful home. Just putting it out there.
What the
Billy Joe's home?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the black and white one. Fucking Cher's house is in fucking black and white.
Yeah. I'm gonna
serial killer.
fast forward a little bit.
Be
Let's see here.
counterproductive.
Let's see her get all wild and crazy. Okay, look at. So I'm
The
fast
queens
forward.
arrives, all hail. But listen, the thing is, what I love that she thought I was worthy of it. Do you know what I mean? I love that.
Like, I feel like, dude, the environment Cher like creates for herself. Like, I can't really see it right now, but that background, like, if I lived in that shit, I'd fucking pull my fucking fingernails out one by one because I'd come, some fucking evil spirit would take me over.
She feels I should have Gucci. I should be wearing Gucci because I know how much she values Gucci and those.
Okay, so again, I fast forward.
You can fast forward. That's just about the Gucci sunglasses.
She's not being crazy, but I wanted to stop for a minute because my boo is in here. Nana's
Thank you, Charm.
Oh my God, bro.
And I watched the reaction to it, and I don't think I should name them right now because I can't remember exactly who it was, but someone thought they had figured out. It might have been, could have been Dolly.
Y'all are killing me.
Might have been Dolly Vision. I'm almost kind of sure, but we better not say I bank on it. Okay, so don't quote
Okay, that's
quote
fair.
me.
Okay.
Okay, but they believed that we had that all planned out for the documentary. I certainly didn't.
I
might
think
have
we
not
did.
been clued in on it yet. Now, whether Marissa did or not, she very well could have, and maybe that's why she wanted me to perform for the cameras and all that stuff.
No, I love that they keep talking about that it was for a documentary. Like, that was supposed to be a documentary. That fucking shit-eating behavior was supposed to be a documentary. Like, I get that it was to try to pitch a reality show or something. That's what I thought it was. But, I mean, it was supposed to be a documentary. Like, what are you documenting? Like, how to be an asshole? It doesn't make sense. Like, I don't, like, what is the, like, last night I watched, and I was just fucking fully engaged in it. And I watched the Waco thing, and I'm very familiar with the Waco case. And I hadn't gone over it in a long time, but I watched this thing on Netflix, and it's 3 episodes, and just totally just like, holy shit. You know, there was a point to it. What is the point? If you're making a documentary, what's the point of your documentary? Because it like, other than it's just a bunch of people acting like assholes. How to be an asshole and how to use a crime case to do it. It's a how-to video. How to be an asshole and how to use a crime case to do it. I can't think of any other message that
Stuff. Listen, I mean, as far as I was concerned, they were collecting video for her YouTube channel or Olivia's whatever Olivia had going on, because Olivia was filming it. But Dolly was like, they all knew before they got there, and they all went there for photo ops. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
I love this.
The reason that a lot of the footage.
Please answer me why that's the only thing that we should be talking about, and give me a valid answer. What needs to be spoken about is MGL's trans bashing, period. Why is that the only thing that needs to be talked about in the true crime community? Because no, no, it doesn't need to be talked about. It was taken care of. It was a problem that was fixed. It was addressed and it was fixed. Where's MGL right now? Okay, hold on. It needs enough attention to people talking about it, so YouTube takes her down. This needs to be the highlight so that her bad behavior is made an example of, and this stops. Well, see, no. That already happened. Okay? You all took action, and YouTube You all took action, made YouTube aware. YouTube took action. Period. It happened. Oh, yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. Sure. But just talking about her trans bashing, see, I won't do that. I'm not saying that I'm not going to talk about her trans bashing. What I'm saying is that's a drop in the bucket for MGL. And for that to be the only focus is insane. To me, it's fucking insane. Just to be clear on what my opinion is on that. Because you can absolutely, like I said, it's a drop in the bucket of MGL's shittiness. Why does that take precedence over what she's put victims and their families through throughout the time that she's been on YouTube? I'm not saying that I don't have a problem with MGL, and I'm not even saying that she shouldn't be taken down. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is, why is that the only thing that we should be talking about? I mean, that's crazy to me. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah, I agree with you, Natasha Tops. I hold on, let's see. Okay, what you did was took my comment wrong. I'm saying it's a spotlight on one thing she does wrong. Maybe I worded it wrong. It's not as serious as you're making it. I'm saying it's a big enough cool just happened, and that was the first comment I made with seconds of being here. I mean, I mean, that's how you worded it. You know what I mean? You said we should be talking about that, and period. You know, like we already talked about it. It was already talked about. It was already addressed. YouTube already acted, you know, and congratulations to those who mass reported and got the result that they were looking for, you know? But I mean, it's going to take a lot more than to get her completely removed off the platform. I mean, I'm just not, you know, I'm a realist. I just don't see that happening. Like I said, somebody with such an insatiable appetite for attention like MGL, getting booted off of YouTube is not going to shut her up. You know what I mean? Like, where does it end? You know, like everybody's like lives in this fantasy world that you're actually going to silence someone, but you're not, you know? I mean, you're just not. You're not going to get rid of someone. It's just, you know what I mean? So in my opinion, the best thing is to just review them when they pop up. Right now, I'm not going over MGL content because I haven't been, because she hasn't been talking about crime cases. It's been nothing but bullshit drama. And whenever that's the case, I never review MGL. But when she talks about cases and she does something fucked up and travels out to some area where a case is taking place, yes, I review her. But you know, the trans bashing thing, that again was addressed and action was taken. So
the footage took place in front of BJ's house in the final product is because I was a later addition to Heels in the Ground. And in order to make it look fluid, because I had to sell the fact, by the time it was done, there was only 3 members to Heels in the Ground. Us 3 girls. Myself, Betty, and Molly.
Okay.
That's why I opened with the 3 of us showing camaraderie in that black and white portion, three happy girls having camaraderie, and I closed it with the same type of footage. Three happy girls having camaraderie, and I had to edit and give the illusion that we were in it to win it all the way through. So there wasn't a whole lot of footage of me within the group doing things. So
Okay.
a lot of it was I had to use the footage from Savannah in order to give that seamless, listen, because I'm really good at editing. Yeah, believe it or not. So the haters, you suck. Oh, bullshit. That was some good editing.
It was. I can see that you edited. I didn't know that before, but I see that now. Hydrate.
And that was the purpose, because anybody that looks at that who don't know any of us or the locations, they're going to assume that exactly what it was meant to do. Three people.
Yeah. Anybody in my chat, watch that fucking transphobic bullshit in my chat. That's not just because I'm saying that one thing has nothing to do with the other. It doesn't mean that I welcome fucking transphobic bullshit in my chat. And it's not going to be tolerated. So, Cherry, if you see anybody doing that shit, and I know I don't have to tell you, do whatever you got to do.
People that really get along and happen to be with one another that have had this history of doing it, whatever the hell we do together, acting like clowns, being menaced together, whatever it is we do it together. So that's what it was all about. It wasn't about we all knew something before it happened. I was only there one day, mind you, once again.
Yeah.
It had to be edited that way.
I want to pull up that video. Hi, everyone coming in. Cotton Candy, I love you, sis. I don't think I got to say hello properly. Hi, Amy. Happy Saturday night. Yes. You're glad the girls said hello? Yes. They love them some Mallory.
Aw.
We were listening to you while doing makeup. Yes, we love. Let's pull this up. You guys know I say that I hate some people, right? So even when I know people don't like me, I low-key love them and I watch them, and because they make me laugh. And the Mallory Williams, I'm getting it mixed up with saying the House of Williams at the same time. You were one of them.
I call bullshit.
Like,
I think you see opportunity here, and that's it.
I don't care if she's mad at me. She's funny.
Again, my Venmo and Cash App is in the description. And
see, the thing is there's a flaw in her method. And I say that with everybody who uses the method that Mallory did to gain popularity in the last week. There's a flaw in the method. Now, it's genius because it got her the result that she wanted to a certain degree, but she underestimated the community because there's too many people that see right through it. But the overall flaw is that it's a flash in the pan type situation. See, Cher is only jumping on this because Mallory's channel is hot right now because of the MGL bullshit. And she's jumping on the opportunity, and she's using her the same way that she uses Billy Joe. And it's very, it's whatever. But as soon as it gets around and Mallory continues showing her true colors that she can't escape from showing, it's just going to catch on because people they're not stupid. They're gonna catch on. They're gonna see. It's inevitable. It's something that happens at first, and then it kind of snowballs and carries, and then people start to go, wait a minute, we need to focus on the transphobia issue, and she's a victim. Okay, she's a victim of transphobia, sure, granted, but that was taken care of, and that doesn't cancel out that she does not give a fuck about anyone except herself and the growth of her channel. Every action that she's taking, including being on Cher's panel right now, is an expression of what her motives are. Clearly. Or else she wouldn't be up there trying to justify her actions prior, which she hasn't done. She's done a terrible job doing so. Second, she wouldn't be up there shilling her shit. She absolutely has no sense of community. To her, everybody is just a number that's either going to get bigger or smaller. And she's trying to make that number for herself much bigger. And it's working for now. But the problem is it's going to happen, and it inevitably happens to all creators who try to pull this shit. You guys remember, I'm not even going to name his name. It's just funny. Because he's trying real hard. It's real funny once in a while. But this guy only gets like, you see, like he gets maybe 100 views on his videos now. And there was a time a couple of years ago where this dude, what he would do is he would latch onto somebody and be cool and have this personality, you know, and he had these little catchphrases and everybody was like, yeah, we love this guy. And then he'd like start a beef with him out of nowhere. I mean, Mallory's not the first person to do this, but what ends up happening is that will get you views like that, you know, sure. But eventually that situation will die out and nobody will care. And then she'll be forced to repeat the same behavior all over again.
There's even been people popping a couple links here and there. So please,
Yes,
if you feel
please
like
do.
throwing a little Instacash my way, I
Please
appreciate
do.
it.
Like, you see what I mean?
Modded one of your head mods. Please feel free to drop. I see you're dropping.
She's
mine,
looking
but,
for any
this
platform that she can latch onto that she could still milk money out of.
chat does not care. We're not like the
She
others.
has no sense of community whatsoever. She's just grasping on to whatever she can.
Please drop co-hosts links in the description tonight as well. Thank you so much for the super chats that I've been getting over here. No doubt from probably Howie's.
And in her defense, I'm not saying that she is using being trans as a way to martyr herself as a victim because she is a victim of trans bashing. I'm not saying that she's done that. I have not heard her do that. I've heard her defend herself when I've heard her defend herself when she claims that someone dead named her, as they call it. I didn't hear it happen, but rightfully so. If someone dead names her, she has a right to defend herself. If someone calls me by a name that I don't go by, and I speak up on it, I have every right to, you know? So, but I have not heard her try to use that to victimize herself. I see a lot of people white knighting for her in that sense. But I'm not seeing her do it.
And thank you, Howie's, for turning out to support Share tonight.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
I sure do. It's a good, I like a laid back night like this. I told Mallory, I said, I just feel like we'll flow nicely.
Oh, girl, the places I've been lately, trust me. Listen, this is a pleasure, honey. This is a relaxing moment.
I could talk to you all
I
day. We
needed it.
definitely got more shows planned because we gotta go to your place next. I need myself one of those golden cups. So I'm in there. I'm holding up. I have this it's an all white cup, and on the
We
bottom
got to get you in Starbucks. That's where it was from.
Oh, Starbucks. Okay.
Yeah, somebody 4 years ago or so, somebody that liked me for 5 minutes sent it to me. And I've been using it ever since. I'm like, listen, thanks for the cup. Adios. You know. I'm not, no shame here.
What's
Hi,
up,
Charlie.
Rabbit?
Okay, let's pull this up for a minute. Hi, everyone coming in. Sorry, I haven't been really watching the chat. I've just been talking. I feel like Mallory's in my living room. It's kind of cool. Okay, let's pull this up. I want to kind of go over this because this is what Mallory's talking about.
Watch it. She's gonna tear apart your whole decorating, everything. As soon as you two have a falling out, which will happen if this continues. As soon as you do, she's gonna tear apart every bit of your home. she's gonna just rank on it.
If you haven't seen it, they wanted her to they wanted to make this TV show like Molly Golightly, the washed out reality
Oh, I
star,
gotta
right?
see this.
And she's
See,
like,
the
you
best thing about this is the different perspectives on this video.
can't have a record and be on TV. Yes, bitch, you can. All right. Yes, you can. Especially because Mallory doesn't really. What Mallory? Do you have a record? I was watching your video, but do you want to say it here? Do you want to?
Let me first say this. What she was doing was attempting to blame me for the failure of that.
Okay, now here's an interesting. Here's an observation I'm making about myself that I find interesting here. I don't care that she has a record. I'll explain why. Because some people might be saying, well, you talk about Battery Betty's record all the time. I do. But the thing is Battery Betty acts like she's the opposite of the person that is on her record. Mallory doesn't do that. You know what I mean? She's not up here denying and making herself out to be some saint. Now, I don't know what her record consists of or anything like that, but she's not up here trying to come off like she's a saint. I will give her that much credit. So when people are like trying to find and dig into her record and find out what her past is like, I'm just like, okay. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, what a hypocrite, because she's not pretending to be something that she's not. And I'm just saying, it's just really funny because she became a victim of trans bashing by somebody who it's no shock threw transphobic comments at her and went there because they've done it before. I mean, you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying it just doesn't, all of a sudden we're supposed to forget about the person that she doesn't make any bones about being. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying here. But I find it really funny that now we all are supposed to forget this because somebody who is expected to throw transphobic slurs out actually did. It's shocking. It's surprising.
That ridiculous documentary, as opposed to taking the blame for her nonsensical pilot. Okay?
Here.
Listen. I told her it was really unmarketable and she submitted it anyway. Okay, it is what it is. Now, the only record that I have,
some of y'all may not even realize that you're throwing transphobic fucking comments out in my chat. Some of you guys may not even realize that shit. And if it gets deleted, it's because it is. And so I would encourage you to actually think before you type. Is what I'm saying and putting out here in this chat something that could offend a trans person? Like, you don't criticize something that they find to be a safe way to identify themselves. That's kind of crazy. Don't do that. If you don't realize it's transphobic, well, you've got some reflecting to do. You know, the bottom line is you got to respect how people want to identify with them, how they want to be identified. You just got to respect that. It's their right to do that. It's your right to do that. Somebody called you by a silly nickname your whole life and you didn't want to be referred to as by that silly nickname anymore. You have a right to say, don't call me that. So whatever term you decide to call that, whatever term is developed to describe not wanting to be called a nickname anymore, and if that term turns out to be a dead name, well then you have to respect that. If not, you're just kind of being a dick.
Have on file
At least
is in 1993, people, 1993, me and a couple roommates were renting a home. We moved out of said home. The nephew of the neighbor, who happened to be, I'm going to say a crackhead. Now, he really wasn't a crackhead. I don't even know. But the nephew of the neighbor next door apparently went into the garage, removed a riding lawnmower that was always there, that was used to mow the yard in the house that we were renting. Removed it after we moved out, right? The landlord accused us of taking the lawnmower, and we got in trouble for it. Here's the thing. It never went in front of a judge, because before it could go in front of a judge, the idiot nephew attempted to pawn the lawnmower, and that's how he got busted with it, and we got let off the hook. So that's the Grand Theft Auto they're referring to, but it doesn't say Grand Theft Auto.
I can honestly say that every time that I've been arrested was for something fucking stupid like that. So I get it. I can relate.
It says Grand Theft. I was never charged with it. I never was. It's just ridiculous. So that's it. That was in 1993. I was like 22 years old. Nonsensical. And then what you're going to find is a shit ton of speeding ticket charges. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged.
Okay.
Guilty as charged. But having said that, I've not had a speeding ticket since 2008. I am reformed. I am rehabilitated. I've not had a speeding ticket since 2008. I now have safe driver on my ticket. So, I mean, on my driver's license. So, that's it. That's what you're going to find, people. That's it.
Good night, sis. I love you so much. Thank you for swinging by. Mallory, you look very beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
like if you were to address Caitlyn Jenner as Bruce, you're a dick. You know what I mean? You're a dick. Clearly doesn't want to be, she clearly does not want to be referred to as Bruce anymore, because she is now Caitlyn. She changed her name, you know? So you're fucking shitty. There is no more Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner no longer exists.
Yes, she does.
That's why it's called a dead name.
Yes, she does. Thank you. I will text you tomorrow to check in, sis. Love you so much. Get some rest. That beautiful boy right there. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Well, there you guys have
Jesus
it.
Christ, dude.
She didn't drop me like a bad habit, but whatever.
And Betty Butterfield over there, whatever, she can go on TV and put it on me that Mallory Williams gave me some serious street cred. I mean, there was just something about Mallory Williams, the car booster, the Gone in 60 Seconds girl. I mean,
there you go.
It would have truly given me some street cred. Like,
Yeah,
there's
like,
been a
I
whole
don't
new
give a shit about
respect
that.
for the House of Williams.
Like,
But
somebody with a fucking GTA charge from 1993. Like, I know good people with families that have GTA charges from fucking 1993. That doesn't mean shit to me.
At the end of the day, I didn't want to be really known as a felon. Can't vote. I mean, can't vote Mallory Williams. I vote every voting season, people. You know what I mean. I just couldn't let it go down like that. I'm like, nah.
She said, you can't be on TV. I'm thinking every actor and actress I'm thinking right now has been to jail or prison about whatever.
Nah. I'm like, you ain't gonna put it on me that documentary didn't go through. I mean, what you're trying to say, people, is wait a minute.
It's not on you.
Not for nothing.
No, they're not
and
you're crazy ass.
Mallory, I'll defend you there. It is definitely not on you that documentary didn't go through. The editing was not what was wrong with that video. I assure you. Just saying.
On TV with your New Orleans nonsense and whatever else you got hiding up under your listen, girl. And Betty Butterfield over there, whatever, she can go on TV.
Betty Butterfield.
She can go on TV. But House of Williams, House of Williams ain't fit for television. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
God damn.
They called her Bullfrog Betty yesterday, and I was dead to the world, Mallory.
I mean, she's a nice lady. She was always pleasant to me. But I mean, the minute you say that she can go on television and I can't, we're gonna have a problem. We're having a problem.
All right. Let's pull.
So I don't understand. I don't understand that pattern of thinking. I just don't get it. She can go on TV, but I can't. What?
Pull up. This is Molly Golightly.
And now
wanted
when
Mallory.
you think about it, that's exactly what Betty does. Is she puts herself in positions to where it's like she forces herself on television. It's really, really funny. She forces herself on television. Like she shows up at these meetings that she knows are going to be like streamed on the internet. And then she could sit there with her little fucking vape and just be like, look at what I did. I totally fucking Karen'd a fucking town meeting and made no goddamn sense when I stood up there, people. This is the work that we do. Nope, see? I brought up the children at a town meeting about a fucking zoning issue. Like
Mallory to save her soul and make her look good, but so this was supposed to be for like a what you called it trial. What do they call that little intro? Not an intro, in Hollywood.
Wait,
like a pilot? A pilot, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that thing I edited.
Yeah, is it up?
It's a teaser. It's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
Let's pull this up for you guys. If you haven't seen this, go to Molly's. Do not go to Molly's channel. Please go to Mallory's channel, which is not called Mallory. It's House of Williams. It's in the description. Mods, if you would throw it in the chat, please, as well as her Cash App and Venmo in the chat, please. It in the description. And check out all her stuff because she's been telling some big truths that I think is very, very important, from Molly Golightly's husband being a fraudulent person as well, and a lot. And I think it's important to see just what kind of human to her filthy, nasty.
I mean, but there's no proof of any of that. Why didn't you record them? Because she accused Walter of trying to get her in on a scam. Like that's the thing is do I doubt it? No. No. Because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to try to understand what the fuck's going through that dude's head being married to MGL. I just don't fucking get it. Like I've sat here and racked my brain on live streams trying to understand what this dude is doing. I don't get it. But I mean, I'm not going to tell my audience that he's, involved in fraud without proof. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not going to do that. MK Ultra, thank you so much. Gifted 10 memberships. Bleachhead Betty. Welcome. Al M4812. Okay. Welcome. Tony the Tax Lady. AJ. Higgy's Maw. Nicole Rankin. Oh my God. I have to pick a handle of the day. Forgotten with $50. Jen 417. Amy M. Angel of Truth. Higgy's Maw. I'm gonna have to go with that one. Higgy's Maw wins handle of the day.
Core that will never change. Molly is. She's not just racist. She's prejudiced. She's homophobic, and I take offense to that.
I mean,
No,
Yeah.
I take offense. Now, I'm not transgender, but I have transgender friends. I get called transgender all the time because people think that's a burn. I say I'm a pretty man.
It's not a burn, but I mean, this is stuff that everybody knows about MGL, dude. We all know this.
And girl then. But
This is what I'm saying is I believe Mallory knew this. She absolutely knew this. I mean, if you have fucking eyes, dude, you know, and you've ever like just watched MGL and listened to her, you've heard her be racist. You've heard her be transphobic. You've heard her be homophobic. Like, you've heard it. Like, there are just years of listening to MGL and just being like, wow. Did you fucking hear her just say that shit? I mean, Mallory absolutely knew.
Bisexual. I have dated bisexual men. I have dated bisexual women.
Wow,
gay
you just gave
women.
yourself some street cred.
Well, yeah, but like I support LGBTQ, and I'm sorry if there's more letters and numbers, but I mean, I'm a supporter.
Not
so I
only
take
does
offense.
she support them, she's actually part of the umbrella. I mean, just so we're clear.
Yeah, so I take
Yeah,
offense
like-
if you're gonna try and burn like Mallory, you're burning me too, vice versa. I take offense. I think you guys all know, like, I have no problem bullying a bully, whether that's right or wrong.
I dated a
don't care.
bisexual
God
girl.
can judge me for that one. Okay. Let's play a little bit of this one here.
Before we play it,
I
can I
dated a bisexual guy and I dated a bisexual girl. What does that make you exactly? Just saying.
Hey, listen, can somebody out there who might have a blue dress and familiar with my TikTok link, can we please encourage people to follow me on TikTok as well as share? We need our TikTok followers because if somebody blows our channels up,
Okay,
listen.
Shut the fuck up already. Man, speaking of TikTok, I don't know how I feel about that shit. I was about to start like really using TikTok and like try to utilize it and everything, but I don't know, man. Like, I like this Dan Crenshaw dude lately, and he's they're exposing some shit about TikTok, and Josh from Dad Challenge Podcast did a premiere recently where he was discussing it, and yeah, I'm not a fan, and I don't know if I actually want to I have a TikTok, but I haven't put anything up on it in a while, you know, and I've hardly put anything up on it, and I barely ever go on it and scroll. I saw at one point, basically it's either dudes like with really cool barbecue ideas or women who are about to show their breasts but don't. It happens a lot. Just like, okay. And then it's just boring, you know? Give me Instagram. That's more fun. And I still don't post like hardly anything on Instagram. I'm going to start posting my t-shirts on Instagram. Like, I have this thing now with new t-shirts, if you haven't noticed, and I just keep ordering them. So I'm going to start, like, when they come in, I'm going to start posting pictures of my new t-shirts as they come in on Instagram. It's the only thing I can think of. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. I wasn't even sure exactly of everything that I was going to talk about, but I'm glad that we addressed everything that we did. I hope everybody's clear on my position on everything that's fucking going on. So, you know, I just don't, yeah, I find this very strange lost in translation thing that seemed to have taken place where the transphobia issue and the true crime issue kind of blended together in some weird way. And nope, they're separate issues. Sorry, they are. And I'm just pointing that out. And the truth is it's just naive to think that she didn't actually know that MGL is clearly a transphobic person, and she absolutely set this up. It's not playing out exactly how she expected to, but she's benefiting from it, and I wish her the best in the drama community, sure. But the second that she starts fucking sticking her nose and trashing victims in these cases, she's open game, and I'm going to keep talking about her, and I'm going to keep reviewing her. But I mean, if it's just all about this bullshit with MGL and that continues, good, great. She has my support. And in that sense, MGL has my support. As long as she's not doing transphobic shit, but that's never going to happen. But yeah, if MGL, gets taken down for the things that she's done, she had that coming. It's the right thing. I'm not opposed. Just because I wouldn't report someone, even for things that I feel very, very passionate about, like victims being bashed. That's something that I feel very passionate about, but I don't report people, but I don't judge those who feel that that's the way for them to deal with it if they are pissed off about it. So just because I wouldn't necessarily do it does not mean that I am against it being done. So, and like I said, so fucking be it. If you engage in fucked up behavior the way MGL has, the chickens are going to come home to roost. It's just the way that is. It happened to Critical K, and it's going to end up happening to MGL, and every other creator that does the things that she does. Look at the Rucheks and how they're handling this situation. You don't think that they've got their eye on MGL? I mean, there's so many clips out there. Shit, Dietz just made a fresh video with old footage of MGL trashing and bashing Shanann Watts. And if they bring their fight back domestic from England, MGL is going to be on that list. I have no doubt in my mind. So I see people who are actually victimized taking action in these situations, and when they do, so be it, and Godspeed to them. And I don't feel bad for MGL for 1 second. She had this shit coming. You engage in shitty behavior and you victimize people, shit's going to come back to you. Period. It's going to happen. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass. We're all accountable for the things that come out of our mouths. Simple. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I had a blast hanging out with you guys as always. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.